last video I said I was going to talk more about my scripture box. What I bought is an Oxford Index card box. It's a 4.5 by 6 box. And what I have are these dividers. And so I have the current verses we're learning, the review verses we're doing, the review catechism we're doing, the verses we have reviewed and the catechism we have reviewed, and then the newest, like the next set. So let me go through and show you what I mean. So here are the two that we're currently doing: verse, catechism. They're at the front. Then after we do one verse, I have all of these verses that my children have learned, and I will take and we will do 1, 2 more. And then when those are reviewed, they go into the back section, and then we will continue working our way through this. We always do 2 because we weren't getting through them all in a month, and my kids were starting to lose some of them, so I realized we needed to pick up the pace on the review ones. Same with our catechism. We do 1, 2, and then they go in the next section. The next section then is reviewed verses. So these are the ones that we've already reviewed with our new verse. So we do our new verse, 2 of the old ones, and then when all of the old ones are into that last section, then we take our new verse and we consider that done, and then we pull out a new one. Okay, so same thing with the catechism. Here are the old, like the catechism from this month that we reviewed. Then I have the next verses that I have available are in here and already they're papers and laminated. So then when we finish with that verse, I'll pull one, and this will become the new first one. And all of them from that third section go to the front again, if that makes sense. Hopefully this makes sense. Same thing with the catechism. We have the catechism here for when we are ready to learn those. And then when we run out of catechisms, I have this that we just pull the next ones up from. And all I do is I take a Word document, I have it broken into 6 boxes. I type out the catechism, or I type out the verses, I print it, laminate it, and then cut it. I literally have like squares that I have outlined on the page. So it's very easy, very simple, very straightforward. So I'm not like having to think about, okay, now what are we doing here? What are we doing there? Like, oh crap, my verse is already used up. Nope. Pull out the next one, done. And so when I pull that last one that is the new ones forward, I will go and print the next set of 6. Or if I have time, I will do more than 6 if I have time to sit down and type more than that. So that is how we review them. We do the one, and we do that one 3 to 4 times a week. But the main part is it doesn't get put in the back until all the review verses have been gone through. So it really does take a month of like all the verses. So that's why I like to keep that pace of once a month going through them all. Hope that makes sense. Hope that's helpful to show, because I think it's important to memorize scripture, but I think it's even more important to keep it memorized, because there have been a lot of verses I've memorized that I have straight up forgotten. So I'm hoping that by reviewing this often with my kids, that it won't just be there and be a vapor that goes away, but will stick in their hearts, and that the catechism is having an impact too. The catechism's a little bit harder at this point for it to have an impact, because they don't always understand all of it, and we can talk through it, but they're pretty little. And so I have seen, like, Gentle Classical Primer has the Ology, which is more of a catechism book that like talks about it. I think something like that might be helpful down the way, but some of the concepts are just a little highbrow for them at this point. And so it's nice for them to be able to like start to understand some of it, start to have it memorized, and then we will work into the explaining of some of these things later. So anyways, that's our catechism and memory verses. And like I said, we use the New City Catechism for kids for our catechism work. And then for scripture memory, I just pick verses. Some of them I've gotten from Gentle Classical, and I was like, that's a great verse. I would love to use that. Some of them I have gotten through Seeds Family Worship, and we'll grab those. And some of them are just verses I like. So we kind of do a mix and put them all together. And that's our memory verses for the year. We had talked about memorizing like a passage of scripture, but we decided to wait on that until probably next year or the year after, when the context and the whole thing will be better. But my kids need short little verses to help remind them of things throughout the day. So that's what we have used so far, and it is working well for their age. So, all right, hopefully that explains it all. If you have any comments or questions, let me know.